Hey guys, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs,
And I'm David Woldingen.
and we are here today reacting to Monday's breaking news. St. Louis City SC head coach Brady Carnell parting ways with the team. And yeah, we're here to react to it. Before we start, please guys go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. David, this seemed kind of surprising, I thought. Initial thoughts for you.
Yeah, I honestly, it came out of left field. Quite
Yeah.
honestly, I thought there was going to be an announcement today for what's his name, Marcel Hartman from St. Pauli, uh,
Hartel.
Hartel. Thank you. Um, from St. Pauli signing because the rumor is that the deal is done. They're just waiting to announce it, and then they come out of left field and fire Carnell. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah. Not something that was anyone's on our radar, certainly. I don't think it was on the radar of many people at all. That said, are you surprised?
uh
Well, let me rephrase.
it,
Let me rephrase because we are surprised. We just said that.
yeah.
Is it warranted?
Again, it's a mixed bag. I have my issues with Carnell, especially since the second half of last season after that the international summer break where Leagues
Yep.
Cup and all that. And a lot of it had to do with his adjustments, his subbing, and just the way he handled the second half of games was not great. Plus, he still doesn't seem to have an answer on the offensive side of the ball of what the team should be doing if they can't get their usual high press fast break going, because if you don't have that, this team really doesn't have anything right now.
That's my big problem with Carnell is the style of play took the MLS by storm for call it 20 games last season. Since then, MLS has figured out okay, high press. So if you make them possess the ball, make them grind it out and work, and you just don't give up fast breaks and odd man rush type deals. I know those are kind of terms for other sports, but you know what I'm talking about. If you don't give that up, they're gonna have a hard time scoring a goal. And we've seen St. Louis City is trash in the final third if they have to be technical and pass and earn the goal instead of finding some sort of break or odd man situation. They have not adjusted. It is as simple as if you make St. Louis City possess the ball and you get back on defense, you win.
Well, and I want to say they are creating chances, but they're just not finishing.
Yeah.
We don't have a pure striker. Klaus, I don't, in my opinion, is not your typical number nine. He's more of a technical guy who sets everybody else up. There have been player injuries, and to me, this is where the surprise comes from it all. We're missing like 8 people from our original starting team, and a lot of it has to do with injuries,
Yeah.
and it's a brand new club. So I thought they would give him a little more leeway, but they had enough of what they were seeing and decided it's time for possible change in the whole system overall.
Well, the speed with which they made this move suggests, David, there may be more than just on the field that you have to talk about, and a lot of that might go back to the whole situation with Sam Dinnerin.
Yeah, so I want to say before the season started, there were rumors that a dinner end was attracting, or maybe even early in the season, they're attracting interest from a club over in Europe. I forgot the club, but it was for around $1 million. St. Louis evidently said no. And ever since then, whether it be Sam with an attitude or the way Carnell handled how Sam played, um, Sam just had no interest in St. Louis at all
Yeah.
anymore. Whether he just wanted to go to Europe or he wanted more playing time, which for whatever reason he wasn't getting much playing time. Um, and then his attitude also showed on the field. He just looked disinterested out there. And I'm wondering if that whole situation and the way Carnell handled it publicly and privately spread to the rest of the locker room. He may have lost half the club.
And I think the public issue, there were public comments about, this is, we're focused on guys who are team oriented or whatever Carnell said. That could have been your biggest problem right there, is not the fact that a Adeniran isn't playing as much and that there is an issue. It's that you put it out there for the entire city of St. Louis and the entire world of the MLS and frankly international soccer to see. That could be your problem.
Well, and just listening to the press conferences after all these games, Carnell really doesn't seem to have a grasp on what needs to be done to get this team right, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
he just
it
keeps,
goes back to what I said, David, a couple
yeah,
minutes ago. He Once the MLS has figured out how to work this high pressure, and he has not had an answer in almost a calendar year.
yeah, he hasn't even changed his style of play. Normally, a coach would adjust. All right, they're figuring this out. Let's do this instead. And I think that stems back to he came from the Red Bulls, the New York Red Bulls, who played this style. I don't think he knows any other style.
No, and that's all well and good, but you have to adjust at least something to your personnel or to the fact that it's not as effective. It's like Mike Anderson when he coached Mizzou and the 40 minutes of hell, the fastest 40 minutes, all of that part, and people could adjust, and it was just nothing Anderson could do. And if you could stop him with that one from that one gimmick, the trick was up. I think we got a lot of that situation going on here.
Well, and I will say on a positive note, it looks like the leadership in this organization uh, recognized the fact that they needed to make a change, and they didn't waste any time. They went ahead and did it.
Well, and they've made a number of moves already to try to improve the roster because this team is not scoring goals. They are right at the bottom. I think off the top of my head, I think San Jose might be the only team in MLS with fewer goals. This team is really good at draws, but it's not like they're scoring three and then just giving up three. It's a lot of multiple scoreless draws, a couple of one-to-ones, a lot of one-to-ones, it feels like. That they are not scoring. And that is the problem. And for a new team, yes, St. Louis is invested. Yes, the tickets are selling, but eventually you got to win. And honestly, in American soccer, American crowds, you got to score goals.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Um, I also think it's very telling that the last game before this decision was made was played in Vancouver on turf. And I know like Berkey didn't make the trip, he didn't play there last year. But the
Yeah.
fact that he didn't even join the team, wasn't even with the team up there, kind of surprised me and caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's curious. There may be absolutely nothing to it,
Right.
but there could be. We don't know.
Well, and
That's
it's a
just
lot.
something that raise your eyebrow a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and it's the longest trip of the year. They play on turf. It could have just been let's give them a rest because they play in a couple of days again.
Yeah.
So it could be absolutely nothing. But at the same time, with the decision coming with two games before another game, it definitely is an eyebrow raiser. But it does tell me St. Louis wants to be successful. They want to win. And they're listening, at least to the fans, would be my guess, as they know the fans have been frustrated,
That,
and they're ready to make a change and move on, and let's figure this out.
that's another word you could call it, is this is an aggressive move.
Yeah,
That there is zero patience. And I think they understand that this is a city and a fan base that, it's almost like strike while the iron's hot in a way, where this city is ready to have a champion. The Cardinals are down, the Blues are down. Battlehawks, not popular with its niche fan base, but still not on the same level as the other two or three, counting St. Louis City SC. But yeah, there's a chance to lose fan interest here if they don't do something. And if they sit at the bottom of the standings, yeah, they're going to lose fans.
Well, and let's not forget this is a knowledgeable fan base when it comes to soccer because of how rich soccer
Yeah.
the history is in St. Louis. So I've heard a lot or seen a lot of comments through Reddit and other places saying that it's like watching a high school soccer team just run around and kick the ball, and have been highly frustrated with that. So uh, to me,
Yeah,
it looks like
it's interesting. I don't think you should expect much the rest of this season because this is
yeah.
not a technically sound team, I don't think. And the technical director, John Hackworth, is now the interim coach, so I wouldn't expect a whole lot of change there. Um, but who knows when you get to international break, maybe that's the time to install a little bit of a change. Who knows? Uh,
Well,
it's interesting.
it's also worth noting on a European side of things, um, all the professional leagues are in their off season.
Yeah.
So Lutz maybe looked at this like, if I'm going to get a coach who I really want, and he's trying to bring someone over from one of the European clubs, now's the time to get rid of Carnell so he might already have someone
Yeah.
in mind or have already gone through the interviews before he made this move. So it is really interesting to see where things go from here. Um, I mean, take it in, do what you will with it. Until we hear more news from St. Louis City, we'll keep you guys updated with all things St. Louis City. Thank you for watching.